Have you ever wondered what it feels like to wake up and not even recognize your own reality? Not knowing who you are, where you are, or why your hands are covered in someone else's blood. What would you do if your only clues came from scattered corpses and shadows that mimic your every move? Riya didn't wake up gently. She jolted awake in agony, her body sprawled cold across the metal floor of a dimly lit station. Her breaths were shallow, her skin bruised, and her mind blank. She tried to recall what happened, but all she found were fragments, flickers of light, screams, shadows swallowing people whole. The station's AI buzzed to life. Warning, abnormal activity detected, power systems critical, manual reboot required. Still dizzy, Riya forced herself upright, clutching a flashlight with trembling fingers. Each step she took echoed down the empty corridors, where once a vibrant crew had laughed and worked together. Now silence reigned, and then a sight that made her freeze in place. A body, cold, motionless, a crewmate, stabbed through the chest, their lifeless eyes staring into eternity. With shaking hands, Riya pulled the bloodied knife from their body, not out of cruelty, but because on this forsaken station, anything could become a lifeline. As she wandered further, she pieced together the scene of a nightmare. Blood smeared across walls. Another body slumped near the control room door. Memories teased the edge of her mind, but refused to reveal themselves. Eventually, she found the main control panel. With a flick of trembling fingers, she rebooted the standby power. The lights flickered, doors unlocked with a hiss. But outside, darkness. A landscape smothered in black ash and toxic winds. It was a barren world, silent except for the eerie fall of dust. Planet KOI 442, or as the crew called it, Ash. That's when she saw it, a shadow just beyond the light, mimicking her every movement, watching her. Panicked, Riya turned back toward the station, but her escape was far from easy. The air was poisoned, choking her lungs. She stumbled, coughed, fell again and again until she finally sealed the door behind her. Warning, oxygen supply critical, the AI whispered. Suddenly, a voice, distant, almost gentle, calling her name. And with it came a flood of memories, her friends, her crewmates, screaming, dying, faces melting into horror. But then, a contrast, a memory of peace, sharing laughter, meals, stories. They were explorers, dreamers, humanity's last hope, sent to find a new home among the stars. Now they were all gone. Or so she thought. A pounding at the airlock startled her. She prepared the knife, heart racing. When the door opened, she lunged, knocking down a figure in a suit. She shattered his helmet, ready for another monster. But the man gasped, coughing. "Riya," he whispered. It was Brian, another crew member, alive. He had been monitoring the planet from orbit and had descended after receiving her distress call. He explained the gravity of their mission. Earth was dying. 7 ships had been launched to find salvation. This station, their crew, was humanity's final hope. But something on Ash had turned their dream into a nightmare. Brian's medbot scanned Riya. The diagnosis: brain trauma, swelling, memory loss, no infection. For now. But they were running out of time. Oxygen reserves were dangerously low, and the next orbital window, when the rescue shuttle could align with the station, was only hours away. Riya should have been relieved to have company. Instead, dread crept deeper into her bones, because the shadows were still watching. As Riya rested, she couldn't sleep. Nightmares clawed at the edges of her mind. A crewmate's hollow stare, a distorted face, a door that wouldn't stay closed. She began searching the crew quarters, a photograph of herself smiling among plants, notes about the station systems, and scattered memories of Kevin, a crewmate she once loved. His laughter now a ghost in the silence. But the calm was shattered. The AI detected movement again, this time in Zone 1. Knife in hand, Riya approached, and there she found him, Clark, or something wearing Clark's suit. He wasn't dead, but he wasn't right either. Riya and Brian debated, save Clark or save themselves. Brian argued for escape. They couldn't risk another infected crewmate. But Riya's heart wouldn't let go. She needed answers. She needed to remember who she was. Later, a sandstorm battered the station. Inside, Riya's hallucinations intensified. She relived her violent struggle against a crewmate, memories of blood, fear, and survival. Had she killed in self-defense, or had something darker taken hold of her? Unable to shake the guilt, she searched for clues. And that's when she found it, a drone tucked away in a forgotten lab. Its recordings revealed the crew's final mission. They had discovered something beneath the planet's surface, a tunnel lined with alien metal. When they approached, it unleashed a pulse of energy, burning through their helmets and sending one of them flying. Worse, it wasn't the only one. Across the planet, similar tunnels activated, releasing toxic air, fire, and something else. Riya realized they hadn't been alone on this planet. Someone, or something, had terraformed it long before humans arrived. Brian listened in horror, but swore he knew nothing. He had only been receiving garbled transmissions. Riya wasn't sure she believed him. The medicine patches dulled her mind, numbing her thoughts. But without them, the memories came flooding back, and with them, the madness. And then came the revelation that shattered her soul. The infection wasn't just in the planet. It was inside her. One by one, her crewmates had fallen. The parasite, an ancient, sentient being, had wormed its way into their minds, controlling them, feeding on their fears. She had been the last to resist. But in the end, even she hadn't escaped. It lived in her memories, in her nightmares. It spoke in voices that sounded like friends. It showed her visions of a brighter world, and then turned them into horror. When the AI detected a life form moving through the vents, Riya followed it and came face to face with her shadow. It wasn't just a hallucination. It was the parasite itself. The creature, now wearing Brian's body like a suit, attacked. Riya fought back with everything she had, knives, flames, even her bare fists. But the parasite was relentless. She managed to drive it back temporarily, retreating to the medbot for one last desperate plan. She ordered the robot to scan her, find the infection, and cut it out. The procedure was excruciating. Her heart stopped. Her mind went dark. And in that darkness, she found herself standing beneath a glowing sky. The same horrific light from her dreams. Was this the end? Number, she gasped awake as the medbot extracted the parasite, a writhing black mass that fled into the shadows. But it wasn't over. The parasite reanimated Brian's corpse, transforming it into a grotesque, mutated monster. In their final battle, Riya lured the creature into the lab, surrounded it with fuel canisters, and ignited them. Flames consumed the station, burning the parasite to ash. With seconds to spare, she boarded the shuttle and launched into orbit. Behind her, the station crumbled, taking her nightmares with it. Or so she hoped. Floating in the emptiness of space, Riya finally breathed freely, but her heart weighed heavy. She was alone. but alive. Somewhere out there, Earth was waiting for news. Would she tell them the truth? That humanity's search for salvation had awoken an ancient horror? Or would she keep the secret buried on ash, where it belonged? That is a story for another day. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.